What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? I am so excited, man. We're back for another episode of the Rob Van Harris podcast, guys. You already know what it is, man. Look, every week, my goal here with this podcast is to bring value, guys, to add value to y'all, man, in every way, shape, or form. As I said in the beginning, I'm not someone that's here to talk about and focus on big, uh, building up your bank accounts, building up your pockets. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Yeah, we're gonna help you, and talking about a bunch of different exit strategies as to what you can do pertaining to real estate. Yeah, we're gonna talk about, how you can break into real estate. What are you looking to do? You're looking to wholesale, you're looking to fix a flip, you're looking to build. We're gonna talk about all of that stuff, and we're gonna give you how to, not just the myths and not just the fluff. We're gonna give you the how to. We're gonna make sure you give you educational, guys, instructional. We're gonna give you instructions as to how to get to the bag, guys. But more importantly, we want to focus on building up the overall man, the overall woman, right? Because as I always say, man, wholeness should be the ultimate goal for us all. And I think that even in the process of us, getting out here and we trying to get to the bag and we chasing, we in the rat race, guys, and we going and we going. We always say it's no point to get all the way to the top of the mountain, guys, and you end up losing your peace in the process. You've lost your family in the process. You've lost your kids. You lost the people who matter most. You lost the things that matter most in the process on the road to success, right? So true success is wholeness. True success is being able to say that, man, listen, not only did I get to where I was, striving to get to after all these years, I didn't just arrive to this place. Yeah, I had to put in blood, sweat, tears, grit, hard work, but I didn't lose my mind in the process. Didn't lose my peace in the process. What's the point of looking all sharp with all the fancy suits on in the big house when you ain't even got nobody there to tell you that you look sharp? You ain't even got nobody there in the house with you to enjoy the big mansion and the cars with you, guys. So again, man, we're going to tap into mindset, mind, body, soul, guys, wholeness, guys. And here's what we're going to talk about today. This is why I'm so excited, guys. We're going to talk about not only how I purchased not every single last one of the properties that I've purchased over these years, by utilizing this very unique, creative strategy, but we're going to also talk about how I've purchased my cars utilizing these strategies as well. And not only have I purchased my cars, but my kids purchase cars utilizing these strategies. And it's just like one of those things to where it's just like, putting your shirt on in the morning, putting your pants on. Once you learn and add these tools within your tool belt, man, you not only become a more viable and more of an asset to yourself, but you become more viable and an asset to those around you. And I'm a true believer, man, in relationships. Relationships, man, is key. And today I have with me not only just a friend of mine, but somebody who's also not only just utilized these creative strategies that I'm referring to, but he actually helped me along my journey and along my path when especially looking for these cars, man. You know what I mean? Looking for cars and not having to go to the bank and put down payments and deal with these high interest rates that we're dealing with right now in today's economy. And again, creative financing, creative strategies. And when I'm utilizing the word creative, can be utilized in a lot of different aspects of business, guys. It's just, again, you got to know how to use the tool, and you got to basically learn these things. And once you learn these things, again, you become more of not only an asset to just yourself, but to those around you. So my man who I'm bringing on today, he mastered this thing right here. Went to him, man, a while ago. And actually, my son went to him first. I was introduced to this individual by my son. And he said, yeah, I was looking for a car for him. He was looking for this he was looking for a certain car. And he told me, yeah, man, I'm about to actually go and sub to this car. I said, you about to sub to a car? This was years ago. He said, I know we sub to houses, but we sub to in cars. And I said, yeah. I gotta work with this guy, man. He found me the exact car that I'm looking for. And yeah, I'm a sub to it. I say, yeah, all right, I got to see this done. I got to see this. Man, it all went down, man. He ended up getting it wasn't a car, it was a truck. He ended up Jeep. He ended up getting the Jeep that he wanted. And then, later on down the line, I ended up getting my other son the car, his dream car through this individual, man. And not just is he just a creative, car guy, man. He's just an overall good individual, man. And y'all know what I said earlier, and I talk about this all the time, relationships, and I'm big on surrounding myself by like-minded people, man, and people of that same energy and of that same spirit, man. The vibe just got to be right. And this guy vibe is just right, man. He's a thoroughbred. He's a friend of mine's, man. We're from the same community, man. We're from the same, circle. And I could vouch for this guy when I say not only do he do what he say he do, but he's actually done it for me. And I don't bring people on and just talk about they did this, that, and etc. No, they've actually I've actually followed these guys. I've actually done business with these guys. So I know they do what they say. So without further ado, guys, I want to bring on my man, my brother, Mr. Mike Davis. What's up, Mike?
What's going on, big dog? How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm chilling, brother. I'm chilling, man. Hey, Mike, man. First of all, how your day going so far, brother?
It's doing amazing, man. I appreciate you having me on, man. That intro, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm sitting there like, my man talking to me. That's what I'm talking about right there. Oh, man, that's love.
Hey, look, if I'm gonna do it, we're gonna do it right, man. But it ain't nothing I'm speaking is fluff though, Mike.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I can feel confident what I'm saying because you've done, exactly what we're about to talk about. So I know you're a man of your word, and I know you're a man of action.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean? I can confidently come in here and be like, put these words together like this because I know that it's official.
Yeah, 100%.
You dig me? Hey, Mike, man, for the people that don't know who you are, just hearing about you for the first time and even hearing about, Mike Davis, maybe they don't follow you on social media, they don't know nothing about you. Tell the people a little bit about yourself, who you are and what you do.
Yeah, man. Pleasure to be on here. I'm Mike Davis. I'm from Baltimore. I'm an investor, entrepreneur, closer. Been in sales for over 15 years. In this space, in the community, been investing in real estate for the past 5 years. And I learned a lot, especially with a lot of these strategies that we're able to use. I learned what goes on behind the curtains. And a lot of times, that's the things that we was missing when we grew up. It's just like how to actually go get the wealth. Like people always talk about it. People always see that you can make this money and do this. But most of the time, like for us growing up, it's like, yo, you work a job or you join the military or you in the street. And I wasn't joining the military and I went in the street. So it was like, all right, cool. We got to figure it out a different way. And, kind of coming up and then over time, being blessed to have this opportunity to come into these communities is like, oh, nah, there's a way. There's a real way to go ahead and get it. And then once you see that door crack open, you know what I'm saying? You go ahead and slide through. So over these past few years, I've just been able and blessed really to have it where I can really learn what goes on behind the curtains and then, you know what I'm saying, like apply those things to me. So vehicles, real estate, even in business, the whole nine, man.
Wow. You talk about, I always say that, man. I heard this saying, to get out the hood. I heard this years back. The only way out the hood was slinging rocks or having a wicked jump shot.
Yeah, somebody say, yep, playing ball.
You dig what I'm saying? But they lied to us. Yeah, man. They lied to us though, Mike. You know what I mean? They lied to us, man, because when I discovered this thing, man, when I discovered real estate, because I was into the streets, you know what I mean? And I turned to the streets because for a lot of, reason, you know what I mean? Like you touched on just now, community, right?
Yeah.
Relationships. And sometimes, you know what I mean? Some of the people that you met out there in the streets treated you better than, maybe your older cousin and your own older brother did, right? So, the old heads would take you under the wing. And I'm just a true believer of community and true believer of relationships, and not just any relationships, but the right relationships, because you will be influenced, man, by your circle.
Easy. Yeah.
Rather that's from a positive perspective or rather that's from a negative perspective, you will be impacted by the people that you surround yourself by. You know what I mean? So I just, man, it's so many ways. And now I'm big on that. I talked to you about me and you talked about that, how I'm big into talking with the community because a lot of them is getting sold that same lie that they sold us, Mike. Sling and rock a wicked jump shot. But it's a lot of ways to get at the bag. It's a lot of ways to become successful without having to do neither any of those things. And it's just about surrounding yourself by the right people, with the right people, getting in the right circles, getting in the right rooms. Man, let's talk about a little bit about success, Mike. What would you define success?
Man, success for me is at peace in my conscience and my soul, where I stand with God at the end of the day. That comes through whether it's how I carry myself with my people, how I carry myself in relationships, how I carry myself with business, you know what I mean? Like anything, whether it's a small success monetarily or a huge success monetarily, whether it's a small success relationship or large success in, you know, relationship with the whole community and everybody know you. It's really being cool and honest with yourself and being okay with 100% of who you are and where you stand. You know what I'm saying? Like clear conscience, that's for me is the biggest success. That's the ultimate success. We can get as much money as we want, but like if you ain't good in your soul, what's the point of gaining the whole world? You get what I'm saying? And then likewise, like it definitely don't make no sense to be out here in poverty if you don't have to. Now knowing what you know, and being able to execute, but just because you down doesn't mean that you failed. It's like as long as you got the ability to breathe, move, and take some action, you got enough opportunity to get your success, man.
That's good, brother. That's good right there, man. Ray Hambrick said, man, that's true, 100%. And I totally agree. I'm a true believer. One of my sayings, I say this all the time, is that if it costs you your peace, it's too expensive.
Facts.
If whatever you getting into, whatever you involved in, if it's costing you your peace. And the reason why I'm so big on peace is because I went to sleep a lot of nights, man. And I wasn't resting.
Right.
I didn't have peaceful nights. Right. You know what I mean? I had a lot of sleepless nights. You dig what I'm saying? I didn't have peace, and I truly wasn't operating out of rest. And I tell people all of this all the time, and if it costs you your peace, it's too expensive, because I believe that people live wrong because we think wrong. And if we could just change our thinking, we could change our lives, man. And when I started changing my thinking, brother, it changed my life, man. When I started seeing, I use the analogy, you know, Tarzan was a man.
Yeah.
Tarzan was a man, but yet and still, he jumped around on trees, beating his chest, walked around naked, because that man was raised by gorillas. So a lot of us is a product of our own environment, man. And it's not that, you know, they say we knew better, we'd do better. But a lot of us don't get the opportunity to get in rooms with people like you and me, man. What would you suggest, or what would you recommend somebody that's looking to get around like-minded individuals, Mike? Looking to get around people, man, that carry that same spirit, that carry those same vibes, man, and is looking to just come up higher in their thinking, first and foremost, because again, we can't get all that other stuff, bank account and all that right, without getting our minds right first. What would you recommend or suggest that person do first?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a beam, man. If it's in your heart to change your situation, if it's really genuine in your heart, because you gotta answer that first, because you don't want to just like jump into different arenas and jump in to different circles that can benefit you, but you not had a heart to like really want it. That's number one. So ask yourself first if this is really what you want to do. If you want to like change your circumstance, but like you want to get around the people who are in that same motion, whether it's going around to different networking events, meetups, or joining communities like a Sub 2 or something like that. Like, I know we got the cheat code because of Sub 2, and I say it's like a cheat code really because of the community, but it's still, you know what I'm saying, it's investment in yourself. But even if you ain't got it to get in there, but connecting with people who are there, which there's like you can holler at people on Facebook, you can holler at people in the comment section on YouTube. You can there's so many different ways to get around the people. That's actually really I ain't gonna hold you, because we have talked for years about different ways to get in there. That's the easy part. I think the hard part is really the mindset around really making that intentional decision that you really want to change your situation. You know what I'm saying? Because like you were saying, Rob, like your mindset, or you got to change your thinking. You don't start there, it's gonna be real hard, and you don't have to learn or know how to like literally have it all together as far as changing your thinking, because there is like an actual process to it. But the first thing is just getting physically around those people and making that decision for yourself. I'm gonna stay humble. I'm gonna soak the game. I'm gonna learn how to find out what these people need, so I can stick around them and I could be of value to them, and I'm gonna soak up the game from there. You know what I'm saying? And I think like a lot of, you know, what I was able to do was that, especially going into the real estate game, like the last job I had was 2019. It was a sales gig out in California, and long story short, they just was playing with my money, and I was like, the last time I was going to let somebody play with my bread like that. So I did the dumb thing. I don't recommend doing it, but I quit the job, and it was timing was right because of the pandemic, so I was able to finesse the stimulus checks. Long story short, but I just went gung ho YouTube University, and then from there it was like, all right, here's how you wholesale, here's how you Airbnb, here's how whatever. Who's doing it? So now I started going to the doggone meetups, and I started like calling a list and being around, talking to like just taking action. Long story short, and I ended up finding myself around the people, and those people that I started with, I'm not around no more. But just getting around them and realizing these circles is like, yo, they're every doggone way. As soon as you get in the mix, you're like, damn, you sit there thinking it was more intimidating than, you know what I'm saying? Like, what it really is. It's really like just real chills, but you got to get around the people. You know what I'm saying? So I would say first take that intention about, bettering yourself, and then take some action.
Man, you just don't hit that one on the nose. YouTube University, man. People don't know about that, boy. I'm telling you, a lot of people that's really doing damage right now, they started, man, right there on YouTube University. Just taking the practical steps and just going on to YouTube. And type it in, guys.
Free tuition, full ride scholarship. You heard me.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, it's like podcasts to this day. Let me ask you this, Mike. What book, audio book, you know what I mean? What podcast would you recommend somebody listen to that's looking to get into the real estate space that's helped you through over the years?
Mindset. Carol S. Dweck. Favorite book all time.
Write that down, guys.
Mindset, Carol S. Dweck. And I like the thing I appreciate about that book. They don't talk nothing about real estate in that book, so there's not a real estate book if you were expecting that. It's a book that, like when I said like you have to take that intention on growing yourself. That book irons out the difference between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. I definitely had a very, very fixed mindset. This is what my talent is, and that's it. This is what I know, and that's it. This is the ceiling that I can get to, and that's it. Because this is how we came up. We ain't around rich people, so I ain't even finna be thinking like that. We just about to, get it how we need to, and then we'll do what we need to do from there. Or this is going to be the most that I can get in a relationship, but it's going to be the most that I can just put in limits, just naturally, not even thinking about it, because the environment you're around, the people think the same way. And you can't even blame anybody for it. That's how we built, you know what I'm saying? Like psychologically and biologically, we are a product of our environment. So being in that fixed kind of mindset, reading that book was like, what does a seed do? You plant it, it grows. What is what does an animal do when it's a baby? It continues to grow. If it don't grow, it dies.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you're not growing, you're going in the opposite direction. So consider the fact that you have it already in you to grow. You just have to click that switch and be like, all right, cool. Instead of trying to instant gratification it, instead of trying to wave a magic wand, presto, everything's fixed and you rich now. It's like, take that every day, growth, one step at a time, lay it down brick by brick, lay it down 1% every day, and keep on growing. You do that, or at least you start there. For me, I think that's where we all start, really. You know what I'm saying? Like we start with that switch to be like, oh, I can do this, or I can do that, I can do something.
Yeah.
You can roll from there.
Yeah. Believe it, boy, you can receive it. I'm telling you, it start with believing you can do it, man. You believe it, you can receive it. Because I was talking to my team about this. I think in yesterday's meeting, if I'm not mistaken, I was telling them, I was like, competence is what build confidence.
Right. That's a fact.
You follow me? Like
I was just talking to my nephews about this the other day. That's a fact.
Yeah, man. Competence is the ability to do something well. So it's just like Jordan, Brian, Kobe, like the confidence. See, they had a gift, right? They had a gift, but Jordan, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't even make his high school basketball team.
He got cut. No, he got cut.
He got cut. Okay. MJ, the GOAT, got cut. So what happens is when you get out there and you start making those shots, you start dunking on these balls. You know what I mean? You start scoring 30, 40 points each game. Confidence come with that. You know what I mean? Because I'm a true believer, man, that a person that really about their business and do what they say they do, they don't do much talking. You see what I'm saying? A real silent sniper, they real silent with it. And when they get up on the court, they get out on the field, or they get out to do whatever they get out to do, or they show up and show out. Confidence, man. But competence is just the competence build confidence. I'm a true believer in that, man. And I like what you said on that, Mike. With that being said, man, let's kind of tap into a lot with, because, we get, I'm pretty sure, man, you get the inboxes, you get, the phone calls, Rob, I'm looking to get into real estate, man. Where do I start? Before we get into the creative side of things, because creative is like that could be an extra level for a lot of people, especially my audience, right? What would you, because I know a lot of people that follow me and a lot of people that's hearing this live, man, they looking to just get started, man. They looking to get their next check, Mike, in the next 2-3 weeks, man.
Yeah.
Somebody right now, man, got their back up against the wall. They got bills to pay, bro.
Anybody that, oh no, my bad. Go ahead.
No, what would you recommend that person do, man? And how would you recommend they get started?
Yeah, if you really need a bag inside a couple weeks to a month or something like that, you got time. The first thing you do, you in a neighborhood with houses, everybody's got a crib, and some of them houses can't nobody live in because they too messed up. If you know that, go outside, find them houses, write down the addresses, look them up on truepeoplesearch.com to find a phone number, dial them, and see if they want to sell. Bring that lead to somebody like Rob or somebody like me. We'll help you close the deal. You bring an opportunity like that, we call that wholesaling. We bring a dilapidated house, it's messed up, and we get that over to a flipper who wants to actually do the work. Somebody like Rob who's going to do the work. And then at that point, we'll get a wholesale check. Get a check, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, depending on the situation. You do that, from calling them, it ain't just like one house or two houses or a couple joints. Like, this is work. If you're really trying to go get it, it's free. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it ain't gonna cost you nothing but time and energy. But you go out, you get you some addresses, you skip trace them real quick, find the numbers, call them, see if they're interested in selling, and get us on the line so we can go ahead, close it down with you. You'll learn how to really do the whole process in and of it too, because that, to somebody like me, is valuable. When you go out and you go find an opportunity, you bring it to me, I call that a hot lead. I'm going to get on the phone with you and that seller, and then we're going to negotiate a deal, get that property under contract, and I'm going to flip that joint over to somebody like Rob or another flipper who's going to do the work, and then we're going to collect the check in the middle. That's how you get paid. Easiest way to get started in real estate.
I totally agree. 1,000% totally agree. And guys, this is crazy because y'all have heard me say this. I mean, on almost every podcast. Yeah, we hear people that came in here today. We talk about how we buy our houses and our cars, no money down. But let's just talk about how you could print a check within the next 2-3 weeks. Guys, it's that simple. That's no money down. If you didn't catch that, that's no money out of pocket. All it's costing you is gas. That's it. It's costing you gas to go. I know right now a young brother from the community, Mike. He prints, no exaggeration, 15 plus with our team every month. Solo. $15,000, $20,000 a month solo. And all he literally, and he don't even do the driving for dollars thing. The driving for dollars thing is what kicked me off in like 2018, 2019. That was our thing. That's why we were like going on to, we was big on the Deal Machine podcast and all of that, because they came to us and they was like, man, like, yo, you guys, what are y'all doing? You see what I'm saying? Like, we see the numbers y'all get putting up in here and what we see. What are y'all doing? Yeah. And we told them, we was like, man, we have drivers. We upload, anywhere from 200 to 250 per day, because that's what it took in our market, 200 to 250 in the app per day. We would, at the end of the week, skip trace them. Our drivers would get paid for it. And they would get bonuses off of every deal that we close. That was one way. Second way, now We have our own money. We've raised a bunch of capital and things like that through over the years. I have people that just bring us deals right to our front doorstep, and they just basically just print money. Literally print money. I told you the guy printing $15,000 to $20,000 a month, and all he called real estate agents, properties that's been on the market somewhere between maybe like 40 to 60 days plus,
Yeah,
45 to 60
yeah.
days plus. Call him. He pitched all cash. All cash don't work. He pitched terms. That's it. And then he connect the dots. Once he get a yes, he can get the terms that we're looking for in regards to our buy box. He bring it over to our team, and myself or one of my team members close the deal from. He don't even close the deal, Mike.
Bam. Yep. Bam. 20 a month ain't even closing.
20 a month. He
Yep.
not even closing a deal. He
Yeah.
not spending no money out of his pocket. He not, having to go out and get no lenders. He's not having to negotiate. He's not doing none of that, Mike. He's just come in saying, hey, Rob, I got somebody here is willing to get in at 11%. The entry fee on this is 11%. You interested? We're interested. Okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead and connect the three-way, do a three-way with you and the agent, and we're going to go ahead and see what we can make work. Get on the phone, done. That's simple. Mike.
That's chills.
Man, this is gold, bro. You dropping gems. Y'all gotta, and y'all write this stuff down, man, on what we're saying, because again, gems, a lot of this stuff is just like, a great sermon or a book or a podcast, right? Or just a great audio book. A lot of the gems be getting dropped throughout the chapters, guys. But if you're not writing those things down, if you're not highlighting this stuff, I promise you're only going to retain maybe 10% of the information that's being dished out right now. You have to write it down, man. Write it down, make it simple, make it plain, guys. Hey, Mike, let's talk a little bit. What you got?
Now I was going to add to that, bro. So anybody that's watching, write it down and throw it in the AI. All right, y'all got cheat codes that I wish I had when we started. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all got AI is like YouTube University, but then you got AI that's going to help you expand on everything that we talking about. So anything that we talking about, you can easily verify. But if you use AI, help you expand it. You can use AI to help you map out the process and everything in between, so that you can follow the steps through and through, even after you get off here. Just take advantage of all the resources you got, because there's really no more excuses now.
Mike, when you say AI, what's some of the platforms that they can utilize to throw this information into?
Easy call, man. ChatGPT, Claude. Both of those are going to be your best ones to get into something like this. You can use it to map out like one, what we're talking about, to how to do it. You can actually talk and prompt. You can get it to prompt it, right? You can mind dump it, be like, hey, cool, this is what they were talking about, or this is what I found out, or this is what I learned. Help me understand the process of how to do this. Make a prompt so that I can come up with a whole list and process and walk through and flow through that can allow me to follow these steps and get to a check within this time frame. You can literally tell that to AI, and it's going to break down the whole thing for you, including all of these concepts and everything that we talk about.
That's good. That's good. That's good. It's no excuse. It's 2025, guys. It's no excuse in this day and time that you can't get out here, man. And like I said, not only put yourself in a better position, but put you, your family, and those surrounding you in a better position. That's what this whole podcast is about, guys. Just in case y'all forgot, man, this podcast is not just about showing you how to get to the bag. It's showing you, man, how to be an overall success, guys. How to basically find wholeness in the process of the journey, because I truly believe that this thing, man, it's no destination, guys. It's no destination. It's a journey, man.
Fall in love with the journey.
What you say, Mike?
Fall in love with the journey. That's really where it's at.
It's a journey, man. That's what I've learned. I've gotten to one platform. Remember, I was, you ever say, Mike, like, okay, my goal is this, and I want to get to this. Everybody set the thing, the goals at the beginning of the years. The traditional, goals that everybody set at the beginning of the year. And then 2 months in, 3 months in, you forgot what you wrote down, right? Yeah. But now, like you said, Chat GPT and all of that stuff, you can write that stuff down and make it plain and make it easy for yourself, right? And if you don't write it down, you will forget it. And more importantly, go out and implement this stuff. I'm the type of person when I learn stuff, I immediately go out and implement it. I immediately go out and get to work. Like I learned something. That's how I learned everything that I know, guys. Fixing and flipping, creative financing, wholesaling. I learned, I got a little bit of the information, and as I gained a little bit of information, I went out, put it to work. Made mistakes along the way, bumped my head, right? Learned from it. Now, here's the beauty of it. You have people like me, people like Mike, and it's a lot of people that's in the industry now to where you don't even have to go out and go through a lot of the bumps and bruises that we went through in the process. Now you can come and sit down with a person like me and Mike. You know what I mean? And like I always tell people, look, you want to learn? All right, go out and get a deal. I'm going to walk you through the whole process. All you got to do is do what Mike told you. Put an address. Write down the address. You don't even got to get an app. You don't even got to download the Deal Machine app. You can make your life easier by downloading the Deal Machine app, right? Or the batch, what is it? Batch
driven. Yeah, batch driven.
Batch driven, right? These are apps, guys, that you can literally download. You see an abandoned house, you punch in, it'll punch in it'll literally, you punch a dot.
Yeah, punch the dot. It'll give you all the information right there.
Boom. Boom. You press the dot, it'll give you all the information. Pressing the dot. And then is what, Mike? It adds it to your system.
Yeah, adds it to the list automatically.
And all you have to do now from that same system, when you get home, you can just skip trace all the houses that you uploaded into the list. Now you got the phone number. All you have to do, call them up. Hey, came across your property there on 123 Main Street. I was riding by earlier. I see, grass is a little overgrown or what, something like that. Is the property currently being occupied? Is it vacant? No, I'm living here. Oh, okay. I don't know, my apologies. I was just riding by. I'm a local investor, and I'm working on a property nearby. And I just wanted to see if you'd be interested in an all cash offer. No, I'm not interested in an all cash offer. Okay, great. Well, thank you for taking out the time to think about that for me. Do you have any other properties that you may be interested in selling? No, not at the time. Okay, thank you so much for taking my call and taking out the time to even, go down, the thought process and even considering, selling a house to me and even hearing my call or taking out the time to me interrupting your day. One more question for you before I let you go. Do you know of anybody that may know somebody that's interested in selling a house?
Get that referral real quick. We pay referral fees.
If you refer me to somebody, we pay referral fees just for you giving me a referral. Yeah, guys, it's that simple. And when you get a yes, right, then you bring it over to my team, Mike's team, right? And we, it's team that I truly believe that you got YouTube University. You can get this from. We're gonna have this on my channel as well, to where I show you guys. I did this on a podcast with Pat that I was on maybe 2 weeks ago. I show people my whole method as to how my team underwrite deals, literally in 1 minute. So you got to have some how to as to how to underwrite a deal. And it's just basically, guys, just finding 3 comps. Find 3 comps. If you don't do nothing else, just know this, guys, hear me. Find 3 similar comps, fixed up properties. We refer to that as the ARV, after repair value, right? You take those 3 properties, man, you divide it by 3, you add them up, you divide it by 3 to get the average cost, right? Okay. Then you want to take that and times it by, like, let's say 75 to 80%. So let's just say that number, the ARV end up being 350. You times that by 80%. And then you want to basically get an idea as to how much the repairs is going to cost. And you can do this by 1 or 2 things. My best way of doing it, y'all see me do this on my channel all the time. My contractors go out, they let me know how much they're going to charge. That's how much I take away from that price. So 350 times 80%. Let's say my contractor say I'm gonna charge you let's say $50,000 labor, and it's going to be another $30,000, Rob, in material. I'm at $80,000. I'm gonna take $80,000 away from that, right? Plus times that by 10%, so it's going to be more like maybe like $90,000, and that's going to be my offer price. All right, that's going to be my offer price. So just so we don't muddy the waters, real quick, 350 times 80%. Take away the rehab cost. In this case, was $90,000. Right now, if you want to wholesale this to me, you could do 1 or 2 things. before you bring that to me, you want to make $15,000, whatever that number is. Let's see what the real number is.
Yeah, you at 190 right now without the wholesale.
I'm at 190, Mike.
Without the
Take
wholesale.
Okay, without the wholesale, if you want to make $10,000 on that, take $10,000 away. What's their offer price, Mike?
Yeah, 180. And that's
180.
your max, that's your MAO, your maximum allowable offer.
Boom.
So you can talk to them a little bit lower than that, but that's the highest that you want to go if you want to make that 10.
There it is, guys. This thing is simple, man. Y'all making this thing hard, man. Hey, man, let's start talking about, because here, Mike, what attracted you to buying cars creatively? They want to get into this car stuff, Mike. They want to know, like, I know Rob buy houses creatively, but I need to know how this boy Mike buying cars creatively. Let's talk about that, Mike. First of all, man, can you buy a car creatively, Mike?
Absolutely. I got a 22 Mustang GT outside. I bought zero money down, 1.9% interest rate, all creative finance. Didn't use my credit. Didn't use no credentials and none of that. You absolutely can.
And I can vouch for that. Both of my sons' cars was purchased creatively, and they utilized this man right here. Let's talk about this a little bit, Mike. Let's do some deep diving, baby. Man, sub 2 vehicles. What do that even look like? Where would they get started? Let's kind of dig into it. If I was a sub 2, someone looking to get into creative financing, I'm looking to sub 2 a car. Where do I start?
Couple ways you can do it. You can do the easy route and just come with us. We got a Facebook group called The Top Method. It's facebook.com/group/top method. We actually teach this process in depth. So we'll give you like free resources to know what this means as far as creative finance. All creative finance really is, in simplicity, is just peeking behind the curtains of all of the normal system stuff. When you go to the DMV, they got the back room with all the extra stuff. After they give you the approval, you choose your car, they be like, all right, cool, we're going to handle all the paperwork. Yeah. All that means in the back end is just one system. But when you get creative, you learn that system and then you start tweaking stuff to your liking. Same thing with buying a house. You buy a house, they go to the closing table. It's a whole bunch of stuff going on behind the scenes. You sitting there usually chilling, waiting for them to come to you and tell you sign here. All creative finance means is you know exactly what's going on behind them curtains. And you say, you know what, I'm going to take that out. I'm going to put this in. I'm going to change that. And I'm going to do my own thing. So just so we understand, like from a real basic standpoint, that's all creative finance really means. And when it comes to vehicles, you can come in and instead of having to go to an institution that their job is to basically buy the car for you and then you pay them back. So it's really not your car, it's their car. You have to go qualify with them. You got to use your job as your credit sometimes, even if you don't have good credit, or you got to use your normal credit situation. You got to do the traditional stuff. But whole time, the bank don't own that car. The dealership don't the dealership don't even own the car. The freaking wholesalers or the manufacturers own the car and they sell them and they get paid on the back end. But let's just say screw all that. You're trying to deal with a normal person, a regular seller. They selling a car on Facebook Marketplace, $30,000, whatever it is. You would, if you trying to buy it cash, you not gonna pay them $30,000 up front. That's crazy. That's a horrible investment. But you will probably go to the bank and you got to show them your credentials, you got to show them your credit, you got to show them all of that stuff like that. It's like you can screw the middleman, aka the bank, because they charging points on top of everything, and their whole job, the seller and you can do without them involved. You just have to know what goes on behind the scenes. So you learn that process, and then boom, you're good to go. Now, I wouldn't say I study all of this before you get into it. You can easily come to a place like sellerfinance.io, which we built a platform that's specifically for creative finance vehicles where sellers already understand what's going on and they've got plenty of vehicles available, and buyers can learn how to come in and purchase vehicles without using their credit, without using credentials, without having to go to a bank or something like that, right? But and then you'll learn in that process how you can take full control over a car, over a truck, over a boat, over an RV, over a small plane, over a jet ski, whatever, right? Because it doesn't really matter the asset at the end of the day. It's just a thing, a loan attached to it, and then paperwork and process in the middle. That's all it is. And this when you come and deal with real estate, the same exact principles that go into real estate, you can apply it to everything else. Once you get a game on real estate, bro, it's like it opens up the door for everything.
It's the truth anyhow, brother. It is the truth anyhow. Let's answer this. What's this question right here? Mike, take this one right here, Mike.
Say, how can I find people who need someone to take over their payments? So if you go to Facebook Marketplace, if you go to, you can't go to Craigslist, you can't go to Auto Trader, place like that. But I recommend just off the break, if you go to Facebook Marketplace, there are so many people who have cars that are sitting that they can't sell, usually because it's either overpriced or it's because they've got they want too much money for it. And they're just sitting and not accepting lowball offers. A lot of times when people go and they're actually going to pay cash, they want a huge discount, rightfully so. It's the same reason why when you go and you see a property, you offer a cash offer like how Rob was just talking about before. You automatically discount it at 80%. And then you going lower and lower based on how much it costs, right? It's the same thing with cars. Most people are going to go and offer something ridiculously less because of the velocity of money. However, with those sellers, most of the time, they're like, I'm not taking anything less. That's the perfect person you want to talk to. So you can see vehicles that have been sitting on the market 30 days, 40 days, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. They ain't dropped the price yet. You can go ahead, message them. Hey, I'm gonna say this here for a little bit. I know it's a stretch. Is this still for sale? Like, yeah, absolutely. Usually they'll answer real quick too, which is amazing, right? But then you're like, yeah, so I'm seeing, I'm looking at the KBB values. It's like right around there. But I don't really want to insult you with a low cash offer. How about this? Can we just do something creative? I'll just pay you exactly what you're asking for, probably even a little bit more, depending on the condition.
Yeah.
If you just let me pay it over time.
Yep.
And now you done pitch terms right then and there. And then once you expand that conversation, you make the seller your bank. So now the seller, instead of them getting lowballed, they can come up with a deal where, all right, cool, I'll sell you this car for this amount of time and this amount down. You gotta, you know what I'm saying, make sure you're paying those payments on time. And there's a lot more nuance to it, obviously. But that's the simple premise of it. Facebook marketing is the place to stop.
No, that's good. That's good. Great information, Mike. That's good stuff. My gosh, man. It's so in this scenario, the seller really would entertain an offer like this because they get to keep all their equity in the car without you losing a penny, right? The benefit, because the people always say about creative financing, rather it's cars, houses, like why
would a seller do it?
Why would a seller do this? And I'm like, why wouldn't they do this?
Right.
We just now went over these numbers, 180 versus, let's just say, me, the creative financing investor, or Mike, the creative finance investor, coming along and offering them 280. That's the benefit. They get more. They get all their equity, sometimes even more than what the car or the property is even currently worth. That's the benefit, guys.
You got to think about it like this. It's like if you go like creative works, like people always are going to benefit by paying over time. The biggest banks in the biggest builders in any city is the banks, right? Because they understand patience. They understand maximizing their profit because they're willing to wait a little while.
That's right.
And that's where the money's at. Anybody is going to want to get all of their money up front. And for you, let's say if you use stuff like Klarna or Affirm or Afterpay and these features, like all that's happening is the seller is using these services to allow you, the buyer, to come in and make payments for that thing over time. But you paid the full price. You just offered them financing because you were able to make a down payment and payments over time. They're secure because now they're going to guarantee their money. Like it's basically the same thing, right? So like, why wouldn't the seller go ahead and just take that opportunity? Like you said, Rob, make more money.
Yep. More money, guys. Guys, hey, real quick too. Usually I give y'all the heads up that if y'all want to come on to the podcast, guys, come on stage live with us, ask questions live. Just put in the comment section, me, and we'll bring you on. Just make sure that your mic is on, make sure that you have good audio, and make sure your camera is on, more importantly, because we're not going to bring you up unless your camera is on and you have a mic, guys, or just mic through your laptop or your desktop. That's cool too, but just make sure your camera is on. But more importantly, guys, ask your questions. Ask your questions, because this man is telling you that we won't tap into more of how we buying houses creatively, but this man is telling you right now that you can go to an owner, Facebook Marketplace, I don't care, Craigslist, I don't care. You could go to this owner and you could structure a deal to where you could come in. You don't have to go through the bank, guys. You don't have to go to your Bank of America's, Chase, and Wells Fargo's. That's stuff that they don't want you to know. You basically come up with a solution that's a win-win for you and the seller. How is no middleman involved, and they're going to become your bank. It's two ways you could do creative financing, because it's like, is one is just a regular sub two, and the second part is a hybrid, to where and Mike, you let me know if I'm wrong, and if y'all do cars the same way. But if it's regular sub two, we're just taking over the existing loan. Seller goes away. The seller, now here's what the seller benefits from. The seller gets the equity. So let's just say that the car is worth $15,000, right? But they owe 10. We come in, we take over the $10,000 moving forward, making payments on that $10,000, and we go ahead and cash Mr. Seller out, Mrs. or Mr. Seller out on the $5,000. They out our hair. Or you can make the seller on a hybrid, you can make the seller the second bank, and you can make installments. You can make payments to that seller. It could be something as simple as $50 a month. But guess what? They get all of their equity versus them having to get those lowball offers for half the price. $77,000 on it when they want 15, $6,000 and they're asking for 15. So Mike, you mean it? So correct me if I'm wrong. Is that about right? Is it set up like that with cars too, or is it different?
Yeah, similar. You can definitely do that, right? Most of the time, though, with vehicles, what you'll find more often is either it doesn't have a loan, which that would be seller financing, where the seller is truly going to be the bank. You put a lien against the title, all that kind of stuff, right? Or they do have a loan. You're going to take over the rest of the payment, similar to sub two, but usually that loan is like at or above market value. So the car might be a little underwater, and then you may be able to just take that joint over. You ain't even got to give them no money, or you may be able to give them a couple dollars to go ahead and get access to that loan. They keep the loan in their name. You make the payments on their behalf. You get possession of the vehicle.
That's it. None of my own credit, Mike.
Nope.
They don't check none of my own credentials.
And
correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, but not only do they have to figure, so wait a minute, before I get into that part, how do the paperwork and all of that stuff go? If I run across somebody right now, Mike, that's on Facebook Marketplace that's looking to sell, owner finance and or seller financing, $50,000 for, let's just say, Escalade, Tahoe, or something like that. Walk me through how that look and how that conversation would go. Like, what's the script that you would recommend this person utilize to start the conversation with that individual?
As far as trying to get it on acquisition?
Trying to get it to basically buy it themselves. To take, to basically, we want the seller to become my bank.
Yeah.
I want to take over. I want you to come in. I want you to be my bank, Mr. Seller. They want $50,000. They own it free and clear. They know that they found out they own it free and clear.
Yeah. Let's run the play. Let's run the play. We can run it as like a role play. Let's do
it. I'm the seller. I'm selling my vehicle out of Tahoe. I'm wanting $50,000 for it.
Yeah, cool. So I'm ringing you real quick. All right, so we're gonna do a live. Ring.
All right. Yep. This is Rob.
Hey, Rob, what's going on, man? This is Mike. I got your number from Facebook Marketplace. You got a Tahoe?
Yeah, man. I'm looking to unload this Tahoe. What you got, brother? Tell me out. What you looking to do, man?
Cool, man. Now I'm definitely interested in it. I wanted to get to know a little more about it. I'm glad that you still have it. I seen it was listed for 45 days or so. What's the catch with it? What's been the feedback?
I mean, it's one of those situations, man, where it's only 2 years old. So well, at this point, a little over 2 years old. It's a 2022. It's clean, man. New tires. I've taken care of the place, taken care of the house. I mean, the vehicle since I've had it. You know what I mean? I don't have any malfunctions or anything wrong with the engine. It's in great condition, man. I just want what I want. Some guy called me up early, talk about some of the Blue Book value, talking about it's only, $45,000 Blue Book value. I'm like, dude, but look, at the end of the day, mine's is 50. So you need to go to the Blue Book value, go call them up and get their car then, because I want 50 for mine's.
Yeah. Now, I respect it, man. You want what you want. You know what I'm saying? I mean, somebody's going to do it. I'll tell you this, though. Do you still own anything on it, or
no? Yeah, no. I own it free and clear, man. I purchased it outright.
Okay. Did you make any upgrades to it or something like that?
I have little kids, man. So I have the TVs and the headrests, you know what I mean, in the back. But other than that, man, no, it has the whole nonchalant. It has the sunroof, has the
Okay.
chrome rims, you
Yeah,
know, the leather seats, the butters, man. It's a beautiful. I mean, you
yeah,
see the pictures. It's
yeah, for
beautiful,
sure,
man.
for sure. It's definitely nice, man. Like I said, I just wanted to get an idea because I did see it at 50. I'll be straight with you, right? Blue Book is usually what I'm going to use to go off of what the value is as far as like what I would normally pay, right? But obviously, I'm not going to insult you with that or even a cash offer, which realistically I had to come in a lot less. So the only way that I would do something like this is if I could kind of benefit as well, right? I don't mind paying you your 50. It's
Mhm.
over market value, but I would do it under the premise that you can help me out too. So I'll pay you your 50 if you let me pay you over time. You become my bank. I'll pay you a solid down payment, just like a normal bank. We make payments over time. That way you get your whole 50 and I ain't got to lowball you and you ain't got to waste time with anybody else BSing you. How about
Mm.
that?
When you say over time, how much time we talking?
I mean, how much time you give me? Right? Like a normal bank loan, right? Is they have their times, but I mean, how much time can you give me?
I like your style, man. It's Mike, right? I
Yeah.
like your style, man. I like that. I mean, truthfully, I mean, I'm not. I really, I guess more so. If I could get my whole 50, I'm more concerned about the down payment because I need to go ahead. I'm looking to get the whole reason I'm selling it is I'm trying
Mhm.
to transition into this Escalade I just done got eyes on that I'm looking to
Mhm.
pick up. So I'm
Right.
looking to unload this so I can go pick up the Escalade. You feel
How
me?
much is the down payment on the Escalade?
The down payment on the Escalade, they want at least 15 down on the Escalade.
At least 15. At least 15.
They want
Okay.
15 down.
I tell you, like 15. So, hmm. How about this? 15 as a down payment, that's a little up there
Mm-hmm,
because most banks are usually going to cut it off at around 20% down. You
mm-hmm.
ask for a little bit more, but you're kind of asking it two ways because you want a large down payment and more than what the car is worth. So I kind of got to figure out something where I can still benefit. How about this? Can we do something where it's more along the lines of like, I'll give you the 50, but let's say I give you like 7,500 down or between 7,500 to 8,500 down or something like that. That way it can go towards your down payment on the Escalade. Or we do something that's a little more fair on the price, where we come down on the price and then I can come in and I give you more on the down payment.
What about we do more on the price and up this and bump this up to 55? And then we can probably do something around maybe that 75 down.
Mm, that's a hard bargain, brother. That's a hard bargain.
I maybe can give you a longer term because I'm not pressed for the money or anything like that. To be truthful with you, brother, I just at the end of the day, I'm gonna take what you give me. If I decide to become your bank, I'm gonna take what
Yeah.
you give me and go put this down on the new truck.
Okay. So how about this then? If you got to up it another 5 for the price, and then we still got to do the 75, I definitely need something solid in return. You don't need it that much. I'm gonna ask you for something solid like 7 to 8 years
A
to
seven
go
to
ahead and
eight
still
year
pay it.
term.
Yeah, yeah. So we
Okay.
do something like that. That can at least help me out because really, what I'm trying to do, Rob, I want to make sure that the monthly payments are affordable and they make sense. I don't
Mm-hmm.
mind paying more for it than what it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's this situation, right? But I got to make sure that you're taken care of and you can still walk into that Escalade. And, from this standpoint in the Tahoe, you can walk away with it clean. I'll pay you your asking. We go for
Where
85. I'll give you the 7,500 down, but I need something solid in return. If you can meet me with the timeline, we can make a deal happen. How about that?
I told you, I mean, I'm not pressed for the money. So I mean, if you mean truth to the matter is I'm a realist, man. I mean, I know, that at the end of the day, I was, truthfully, 45,000. I'm gonna be a straight shooter, man.
Mm-hmm.
$50,000 because I know that's my baby. It got TVs in it, it got the chrome wheels on it, man. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Just in that alone is $5,000 in upgrades. But if you're willing to give me an extra $5,000, I could work with you, on the monthly payments, man. Work with you on the balloon. I don't know if I could do 8, but we could probably do something in between, maybe around maybe a 6-year term, and if we could make something like that work, I think it could be a go.
Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely keep extending the conversation. I think it'll be good. Well, how about this too? I'll have you, and this is my job for anybody that's watching, right? When you get to this part of the conversation, you don't want to talk technicals and all of that stuff. You want to get and introduce a third party. You could use somebody like my company, Top Wheels. You can go to topwheels.io. If you have any leads like this, you can click on the transaction coordination link and book a call. That way you'll have our team come on and I'll be able to come and help you close this deal down. We'll talk all the technicals. So the next part of that conversation is, all right, cool, Rob. So this makes sense. How about this? Let's jump on a call with my transaction coordination company. They like to deal with all of the paperwork and all that stuff. I don't really want to do all of that. But if we can go ahead and get this stuff solid, I'll make sure you're protected. You'll still have a lien against the title. We'll make it, nice and clean. We'll make sure that we got all of this stuff buttoned up so that I can get you that money. We can give me the keys and we can go from there, man. How about that?
Boom. Done. That's it right there, guys. That's an A through Z. I mean, so this, again, is not just educational. What we're giving you right now is instructional, guys. Direct what this man does every day to close deals creatively pertaining to cars, guys. That's it. Read it and weep. I mean, where do you get that right there in itself? People charge thousands and thousands of dollars just to do what we just now did, guys. And y'all know this. And no, I'm not lying. You hear what I'm saying? You can replay this thing, write down everything he just now said, tick for tack, and just make it into your own little personal script. And here is what I love about everything that we're talking about right now. You don't have to master this thing. You don't have to specialize in creative financing or buying cars sub 2. The man just stated, guys, that he currently has a company that will do all of this for you from A through Z. So, Mike, well, how do that look? You just found the buyer. I mean, I'm sorry, you was the buyer. You just found the seller, right? Next steps, you said closing team and things like that. What is that? For somebody don't even know what that means. What is closing team? What would be the next steps? What would be the next steps from here?
Yeah. So remember, just like I said in the example of going to a dealership in the back office, right? Once you decide on the price with the salesman, they get to like, all right, cool, we're gonna go get you all taken care of. They're gonna get you to the back room, right? You got you down, and they're all doing all of the back end stuff. That's the same thing that's happening. All our company does is very similar to what a normal DMV would do. We just do it ourselves. We do it manually. You don't have to go through the rest of the process because we get it. Use a company like us. We'll structure the deal, make sure it's all buttoned up for you. So the transaction coordination is really what has to happen. Once you have a deal, now you need to complete the transaction. That's where a company like us will come in. We'll walk both you and your seller through the deal, make sure all of the paperwork is right, the process is right, insurance, the DMV, the whole 9 yards. We'll make sure that everything's buttoned up so that now you can walk away with them doggone keys and the seller can walk away with that money.
That's the part I love. I love that part. I love the part because I'm a true believer in somebody said it here earlier in the comments, like, you don't have to figure it all out, guys. Just get with somebody who's already figured it out. You know what I mean? Find the right people you can trust to get ahead that's doing it.
That's a fact, right?
There it is, right? That's doing it, right? And we'll teach you the same game. That's it.
You learn while you earn. Any of this stuff, if you want to get into it, the first thing you do, find a lead. That's gonna be the fastest way for you to learn. Find a lead, take the action, go call a house, go to Facebook Marketplace, get you a car. Just all you gotta do is get a lead. You ain't got to sell them, you ain't crazy. You ain't got to, close the deal, none of that stuff. Find a lead, somebody who's interested, somebody who's open to the idea, and then bring them to somebody like us. We'll teach you and close the deal. You'll be a part of the whole process through and through. And yeah, absolutely. Catherine says, do you wholesale your sub 2 car deals? Absolutely. If I'm not keeping it, then I'm definitely going to make some money out of it. Whether I wholesale it or whether I give it to another company who can rent it out for me and I get cash every week, whatever the case, I'm going to do that.
Man, I love it. I love it, man. I love it. Mike, how can the people watching, one, add value to you? Because you've added a lot of value to us here today, brother. And I appreciate you for this, man, coming on to the podcast, man, and adding this type of value to my audience, man. And people want to see this. It's on the guys, it's on the YouTube channel. It goes live Facebook, guys. You know, for whatever, you don't go to the Facebook page, you can go to the YouTube page, guys, to catch the replay. There's a lot of gems dropped on today, guys. But Mike, how can people that's watching add value to you, and what other ways outside of the sub 2 cars and the creative stuff can people come and add value to you, my brother?
Yeah, bro. I appreciate you having me on, man. I think the easiest thing is I need leads. So if you bring a lead, we can knock it down. Reach out to me at Mike Will Close It on Facebook and on Instagram. I'm on Facebook a lot more than Instagram. I know it seems like it's old, but that's a perfect place for business. I promise you that. But you can holler at me on Instagram too. Shoot me a DM with a lead with your situation, and I'm gonna help you through it. We're gonna get them people on the phone. We're gonna knock that stuff down.
I love it, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And guys, he just now that's it right there, guys. So he need leads. The way that you can add value to the audience, Mike, the people that's listening, is it can go basically find leads. The way we talked about throughout this podcast, bring it to you, and you will make sure that they get their checks and make sure that you walk them through the whole process, and not only just get them paid, but you're teaching them the game at the same time. Is that what you're
100%.
saying?
Yep, 100%.
I love that. I love that. What's your email, Mike? That's what Megan say here.
Yeah, at Mike Will Close It on everything, or you can Mike Will Close It at gmail.com. If you got to email me something, but shoot me like I said, shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram at Mike Will Close It. Easy call. We can make something shake.
Guys, it's been another blessing, great, amazing episode of the Rob Van Harris podcast, guys. Listen, man, you already know, man. I want to first, brother, before we go ahead and cut this thing, we're going to go ahead and land this plane, man. I want to thank you, brother, for coming on today, man, and dropping all these gems, bro. And, educating the audience and just, taking out the time out of your day, brother, to come in here and bless us, man, with your knowledge and all this great information. We appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely, bro. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Continue to be a leader and be an asset to the community, man, for real. Like that means a lot. So being on here, I feel honored. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
real right.
I appreciate that, brother. Till we meet again, Mike, man, I'm gonna catch you over in the, at the closing tables, bro, in the communities. You already know, man. Owners Club Sub 2, baby. You already know, man. I'll see you soon, my brother. And thank you again for joining us, man.
All righty, bro. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man. I'll catch you later, Mike. All right. Hey, guys. Man. My gosh. A lot of great information given out on today, guys. I don't take any of this stuff for granted. I told you the reason I do this is to truly give back, guys. You know what I mean? I'm trying to give back. I'm not trying to do anything. Let me take that back. I'm giving back to not only my community, but I'm giving back to the individuals that's in need of this knowledge, that's in need of this education, that's in need of these viable assets that we're handing out to you guys right now, because that's truly what it is, man. You know what I mean? As I told you, the tools, as you learn this stuff, you add more tools to your tool belt. I don't care what you do. You could be a mechanic. You could be a traditional real estate agent. You can be whatever. When you go out and you learn more, and in ways we talked about, you learning while you're earning, right? Because you're linking up with people like Mike, you're linking up with people like myself, and you're learning these amazing exit strategies along the way, all while making money. And then what happens is eventually you able to stand on your own too and do your own thing to where you're able to continue to go and grow on your own. But it's just like with anything, man, all of us need a coach. All of us, man. I don't care how, I still have a coach, guys, to this day. You know what I mean? People that know me know that I do a lot of volume in real estate, man. I still have a coach, guys. I have coaches with an S. Still have mentors, man. So we here showing up. No fees. Ain't asking nobody for no 10, 20, $30,000. We just giving y'all the game, man, and what people would charge y'all, big bucks for free. And we just want y'all to go out here and apply it, man, and make sure that y'all, each one that's getting, each one teach one, each one reach one. Go back and as you learn, man, go back and give to somebody else, man, and you bring them along. And that's what we continue to do, man. We continue to pass the baton, guys, so that we all continue to go and grow, so that we all begin to become better, not only for ourselves, but for our family and for our families and for our kids, guys. So with that being said, man, I hope y'all got value from this podcast today. I sure did, because truth to the matter is I've done it, the sub two car stuff, but I've done it. The times that we've completed those transactions has been with Mike's company. That's why I brought him on to y'all, right? But with that being said, man, yeah, guys, let's continue to get out here, guys, do the work. Make sure, guys, that you're not only taking out time to focus on building up your bank account, but focus on building up your mind, focus on building up the relationships with your families, with your loved ones, with your family, and with your loved ones, guys. And with that being said, man, let's continue to go and grow. I'll see y'all on our next video, man. It's Rob Van Harris, guys. I'm out of here. I appreciate y'all. Let's get it.